You have the money. Hermès still won't sell you the bag. It costs them close to $800 to build. They charge $13,000. And even with the full price in your hand, the answer is no. This is not a shortage, it is a system, and once you see it, you will read every luxury price tag differently. By the end of this, you will see how a handbag became one of the best performing assets of the last 40 years. You will learn why the number on the tag is the smallest part of the real price. Then the quiet ladder the wealthy climb to turn a status object into cash in the bank. And the one move Hermès makes on purpose, most brands are too nervous to copy. Why does this touch your money if you never buy a Birkin? Because the same trick sits behind the watch on your wrist, the car in your driveway, and the sneakers in your closet. Learn to read it once, and you stop overpaying for the wrong kind of luxury for the rest of your life. This is the decode. Start with the object in your hands. A firm called A Simple Model, which builds financial models for a living, puts the cost to make a basic Birkin near $800. A Chinese workshop took one apart and rebuilt it for close to $1,400. The leather itself, even fine calfskin, runs a few $100s. The entry Birkin sells for about $13,000, and the range climbs past $450,000 for rare skins like crocodile. So on the base bag, the markup clears 90%. For comparison, a bag from most designer labels costs about the same to make, yet sells for a quarter of the price. The gap is not the leather, it is the name and the wall around it. And these are not machine-stamped. One artisan builds each bag by hand, from first cut to final stitch, in 18 to 24 hours. It takes about 2 years to train one maker. So the rarity is partly real. The price, though, is a decision. Now zoom out from the bag to the business behind it. In 2024, Hermès reported €15.2 billion in sales, with an operating margin of 40.5%. In 2025, sales crossed €16 billion. Recurring operating income reached $6.6 billion, and the margin climbed to 41%. Sit with 41% for a second. Apple, the most profitable big company on earth, runs near 32%. LVMH, the largest name in luxury, runs about 23%. A leather bag maker in Paris beats them both. Hermès is one of the most valuable companies in Europe, and the founding family still controls it, which lets them plan in decades, not quarters. Leather goods, led by the Birkin and the Kelly, is the single largest driver of all of it. The bag they ration at the counter is the same bag paying for the entire house. Here is where a handbag stops being a handbag. A study by Bag Hunter tracked Birkin prices from 1980 to 2015. Over those 35 years, the average Birkin rose 14.2% a year. The S&P 500 returned about 8.65% a year after inflation over the same window. Gold, adjusted for inflation, lost value. And in no single year did the Birkin fall. The weakest year, 1986, still climbed 2.1%. The best, in 2001, jumped 25%. An asset with no losing years on record. Be honest about the fine print. These are averages across the market, not a promise on any single bag, and condition, size, and color swing the number hard. Still, the trend holds. The resale platform Rebag found Birkins gained 92% on the second-hand market over the last 10 years. And in July 2025, the first Birkin ever made, built for the actress Jane Birkin in 1985, sold at Sotheby's in Paris for about $10 million, a world record for any handbag. So why the wall at the counter? Because you do not simply buy a Birkin, you are offered one. Walk in cold and ask for the bag by name, and you will be sent away. To earn an offer, you build what sales associates call a purchase history. Scarves, shoes, belts, jewelry, homeware. You spend thousands on everything except the bag you came for. Resellers who track the game Say the unwritten rule is to spend 2 to 3 times the bag's value on other goods first, though Hermès has never put a number on it. In 2024, a group of shoppers sued Hermès in California over exactly this, arguing they were forced to buy other products first to earn the right to a Birkin. Court filings noted the sales staff earn commission on the scarves and the shoes, but not on the Birkin itself. The case was later dismissed, and the system did not change. Most clients are held to 2 of these bags a year, one every 6 months. Often you do not even pick the color or the leather. There is no public waitlist anymore. The store decides who is worthy, and the store keeps the score. Here is the part most people miss. Hermès is not short on buyers. Demand runs far past supply, year after year, and it has for decades. They have the money to hire more makers and open more workshops. They choose not to. Hermès opens about 1 new leather workshop a year, and each one takes 2 years to fill with trained makers. This is the throttle on supply, set by hand. The scarcity is not an accident of leather and time. It is engineered from the top. And engineered scarcity is the whole trick. Flood the market, and a Birkin becomes a nice bag worth a few $1,000s. Starve the market, and the same bag becomes an access-controlled asset, one the house gets to award, and one the resale market prices like a rare coin. The resale market does their marketing for free. Every time a Birkin doubles its retail price at auction, the whole brand grows more desirable, and Hermès pays nothing for the ad. Most brands sell you a product and hope you return. Hermès sells you permission to spend, and the bag is your receipt for years of loyalty. They protect the wall because the wall is the product. So how do you use this without ever owning a Birkin? Start with one test you run before any status buy. Ask a plain question. Does a real resale market exist for this thing, and does it hold price over time? A Birkin, a steel Rolex sports watch, a first edition book. These trade on live second-hand markets with public sold prices you look up in seconds. A logo bag from a mall brand, a leased luxury car, a hyped sneaker drop with no aftermarket. These shed half their value the moment you walk out the door. One is an asset, the other is a status trap wearing the costume of one. And you do not need $13,000 to play. The same rule works on a $400 watch or a $150 pair of shoes. Buy the thing with a real second-hand market, and your downside has a flaw. Here is the honest part most channels skip. For a normal buyer, the boutique is closed. The resale market is the real door. Platforms like Rebag, Sotheby's, and vetted resellers are where regular people buy these pieces, and where owners sell them later. You pay a premium over retail to skip the pre-spend, but you also skip years of buying scarves to earn an offer you might never get. Know which side of the trade you are standing on before you sign. Step back, and the lesson is bigger than one handbag. The wealthy do not chase luxury. They buy the pieces the market controls and refuses to flood, then let scarcity do the work. Logos do not build wealth. Controlled supply does. A Birkin was never about leather. It was about who decides how many exist. Understand this, and you stop paying for status and start pricing it, the way the people selling it to you already do. If you want the short version, a one-page map of which luxuries build wealth and which quietly drain your money, the free luxury money map is linked in the description. No pitch, no pressure. Take it if it helps, and stay for the next